Baruch here with genConnect.com, and I'm joined today by Randall Kempner, the Executive Director of the Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs. How are you, Randall?
I'm great, Baruch. It's great to be here today.
Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. It's a beautiful place to be.
Couldn't be much better.
Yeah.
What could be better, though, is the unemployment rate. And where are we going to find the 400 million jobs that we need just to keep the unemployment rate steady in this world?
It is amazing. The International Labor Organization came out with that stat, which, by the way, is equal to the population of the United States, France, and Ghana combined.
It's a lot of jobs.
It's a lot of jobs. And again, that's just to maintain where we are today, which is not exactly a place of incredible peace and transparency or peace and tranquility in the world. So at ANDE, we think we have an answer. And for us, that is supporting small and growing businesses in emerging markets. These are businesses that are bigger than microfinance, so they don't have one job, they have 5 or 10, and they are led by managers that want to grow them. So the challenge, though, is to try to help these businesses. They need financial capital, they need access to talent, they need access to markets, and in most developing countries around the world, they don't have access to those assets. So what ANDE is about is trying to help bring together the various players that support those entrepreneurs and get those skills and the capital that they need to create those jobs that the country and the world needs.
What really is the best way for an entrepreneur to do well while doing good?
Well, so I think personally that every business person, entrepreneur, big business or whatever, needs to think about clearly their financial bottom line. But in today's world, we also need to think about the social and environmental bottom line. And so it frankly is a mindset that we're trying to change. There are lots of specific ways in which you can do that, but I would like for every CEO here in Aspen, and I would like for every small business entrepreneur in Kenya or in Bolivia or in Bangladesh, when they operate their business, to think, well, what am I doing? How is this impacting my employees? How is it impacting my community? How is it impacting my globe?
We're talking about all this impact that people can have around the world, and you, of course, are seeing so many different enterprises, so many different regions of opportunity. What are the biggest places right now that we should be looking at, the biggest regions and the biggest sectors where there really is untapped opportunity for this kind of development?
Well, globally across emerging markets, there's a massive amount of opportunity because there's incredible challenges that can be solved by business. So I can sort of say that full stop. But if you look at where there's some of the greatest activity right now, you look at places like Brazil, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, which is one of the most entrepreneurial places in the world. And you are seeing this incredible kind of ferment of business activity focused on social challenges. One of my favorite and maybe not obvious areas of activity is in the sanitation sector. As it turns out...
Sanitation.
Yes, sanitation. There are, not surprisingly, hundreds of millions of people that lack access to running water, and even more that lack access to kind of decent sanitary toilets. And so you're seeing this kind of amazing creativity around how you can turn crap into cash.
I like that's the new take on turning lemons into lemonade.
So you're seeing that in terms of public toilet facilities. So there are a bunch of companies in Kenya that are trying to go into the slums in Kenya and creating businesses around having clean public toilets, which provide safety to the people that are using it, particularly women, for whom it's often a very dangerous thing to go to the toilet in the evening. And then you have businesses, there's one actually in Kenya that's in Kenya and Ghana, which is taking human refuse and turning it into bricks that can be used by cement factories and other incinerators that actually have a higher energy content than do traditional, I guess now untraditional alternative fuels like switchgrass and others.
But not to build houses with.
No, they're burning them, so it's an energy source.
It's like a coal, like a fuel source.
Exactly.
Okay.
But imagine what happens today is this stuff literally gets dumped. It's called Strawberry Hill. It gets dumped in the ocean from Strawberry Hill after having been picked up from septic tanks, and that's legal. And what we're trying to do is to divert that flow from the ocean into an energy source, which not only helps protect the environment locally, but it actually reduces the amount of carbon that we have in the atmosphere.
Fascinating. So sanitation. Keep an eye on sanitation.
You got it.
Randall, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
And to learn more about Randall and his work with the Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs, be sure to check out genConnect.com.